Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson, World Alternative Media here, and remember Jussie Smollett, child actor, later on one of the lead actors on the show Empire, and well, he faked a hate crime and hit the news all over the place after faking a hate crime. All these celebrities came to his defense until it came out that it was clear he paid a bunch of, two Nigerian American brothers to stage a fake hate crime assault on him and filing a false police report later on. Smollett's defense, as the Wikipedia article, we're going to go much deeper into it than this, but as the Wikipedia article says, Smollett's defense team reached a deal with prosecutors on March 26, 2019, in which all charges were dropped in return for Smollett performing community service and forfeiting his $10,000 bond. On March 27, 2019, it was announced that the FBI would be investigating why the charges were dismissed. Well, he's back in the news again, and it doesn't look very good for him. And honestly, this is just another example of the victim culture in first world countries. This need to be a victim and create some kind of victimhood in order to get people to, comfort you and pay attention to you and make you feel like you're some kind of revolutionary. It's just a perfect example of privilege, if nothing else. But let's get into this article here. Out of Fox News, and we'll break it down better after. But as it says, Jussie Smollett, judge orders Google to turn over 1 year's worth of data. And as the article goes into, an Illinois judge granted 2 sweeping search warrants ordering Google to turn over a year's worth of data from Jussie Smollett and his manager as a special prosecutor probes whether or not the Empire actor staged a racist and homophobic attack against himself. The warrants filed last month in Cook County Circuit Court will give investigators access to Smollett's and his manager's texts, emails, photos, location data, drafted and deleted messages, any files in their Google Drive cloud storage services, Google voice texts, calls, and contacts, as well as their search and web browsing history dated between November 2018 and November 2019, according to reports by the Chicago Tribune. Smollett, who is African American and openly gay, garnered national attention and immediate sympathy after he claimed that 2 men attacked him on January 29, 2019, and placed a noose around his neck as they shouted racist and homophobic epithets at him. Smollett's manager called 911 and was at the scene and visible on surveillance footage from the night of the attack. An investigation by the Chicago police revealed a plot twist, though, that Smollett allegedly paid $3,500 to the 2 brothers, both natives of Nigeria, allegedly to attack him outside his apartment building. State's Attorney Kim Foxx's office charged Smollett in February 2019 with 16 counts of disorderly conduct for allegedly orchestrating the incident. However, she dropped all the charges a month later with little explanation, angering city officials and the police, and leading Judge Michael Tuman to appoint Special Prosecutor Dan Webb to look into Fox's decision. As it continues, Tuman signed the new search warrants for Google on December 6, 2019, ordering the company's representatives, agents, and employees not to disclose his orders to turn over the records, saying that to do so may jeopardize an ongoing criminal investigation. Investigators are hoping that the data, which encompasses large swaths of time before and after the attack, may shed light on whether the incident was premeditated and whether Smollett and his manager had any correspondence with each other or anyone else, particularly after the charges against him were dropped, which would implicate them. So this is an interesting story. Nonetheless, this has been going on for a long time with a lot of celebrities who faked hate crime attacks on them in the past. We can go back all the way to Morton Downey Jr., if anyone remembers him, faking a swastika attack on him in a bathroom where the swastika was drawn backwards on his face. This is a popular thing for a lot of very privileged celebrities to do under the guise of being underprivileged. I feel like it's more of a mental disorder, if anything, but this is an interesting case because with Jussie Smollett, a lot of people ran to his defense And then it turned out that it wasn't beneficial for the CNN headlines when it came out that there was clearly some kind of potential collusion there. And then his charges were dropped. So, I mean, first of all, there's all this evidence, video footage of these two brothers at a store before it happened. And this payment that came from Jussie Smollett allegedly to these Nigerian brothers. I mean, it was so badly covered up. But then the charges were dropped. Everyone was like, what's going on? Why are the charges dropped? And then that was the last we really heard of it, wasn't it? And so I do want to point out that obviously I'm not for Google being forced to give over data of people's personal private data. This is exactly why we need privacy-oriented blockchain alternatives, Monero, things like that. Because, I mean, encrypted messaging, all that kind of stuff. Because while I really don't like Jussie Smollett, I also don't think that people should, the government should be able to steal data from people's personal, searches and stuff through Google. And the fact that Google, compiles all of that just says a lot about Alphabet. I mean, it's right in their name, Alphabet. It means it's like CIA, FBI, and Google. But I mean, this is another issue altogether that has a lot to do with the psychological problems among many in the first world. Things have gotten so good for so many people that people are looking for ways to be a victim in order to, well, get attention, and second, feel like they're in some way, pushed around, or that they are disadvantaged because, say, something doesn't go right in their life, they don't like where their life is going, and they want to blame it on anything else other than possibly themselves, and so they look for ways to become a victim. And I can't help but tell you a bit of a story quickly that when I was in the Sahara Desert in Africa, I was going through sand dunes in, third world Mauritania, Africa. We're talking like no air conditioning. It's like 130 Fahrenheit. It was absolutely horrific out there as far as conditions go. Only 0.2% of the land is farmable. Their currency inflated. It's just all terrible. But then you walk around and everyone's so happy and generous and does whatever they can to help you. You look around, people are living in shacks. They've got a smile on their face. They have a hole in the ground for a toilet and a little tap that might, in some places, shoot out some low-flow brown water, and you splash it in your face, and that's your shower. I mean, the conditions were absolutely terrible. You're not allowed to shake a woman's hand, all that kind of stuff. But you see these people that are absolutely happy, and they're grinning ear to ear, and they're just happy people. They have almost nothing. Come back to the United States or Canada or elsewhere in the first world, and everyone's complaining about everything. Everything is just, they're so disadvantaged. I think at some point it's a psychological thing that people are so advantaged and have so many opportunities that they want to almost play the part of someone who doesn't have any opportunities. And I mean, this is a great example. Jussie Smollett has all these opportunities, was at the height of his career, and he just threw it out the window to try and get some extra attention and make himself look like a victim and perpetuate the divide. I mean, if anyone cares about stopping like racism and stuff like that, they shouldn't be wanting to fake stories like this and divide people either and cause people to clash. White or black and Asian, East Indian, whatever it might be, from any part of the world, any race, any religion, any nationality. It's so stupid. But it always seems like the people, mostly on the far left, that are obsessed with racism are the ones that are creating the most problems for racism, especially in the first world. And this isn't the first time. There's been so many examples of people faking hate crime stories over the years and getting caught for it. I mean, I feel like almost every time I hear a story about a hate crime, it ends up being fake. There was a story out of Winnipeg, Canada. This deli, I believe it was, or a restaurant, faked a hate crime attack on them. Now they got their restaurant taken away. I think they got arrested, all fined a ton of money. We saw that with that girl that said that her hijab was ripped off, and then it turned out that was faked, and just all these different stories like this, and we hear it all the time, and it gets to a point where it's like, guys, if you want to end racism, you shouldn't be trying to stoke the flames of racism and cause people to be more divided and people on both sides to clash with each other, distracted from the real enemies, which are, these entities that drive us against each other: media, government, banks, central banks, poverty that comes out of these central banks, paying off the interest on the debt, taxation is theft, all that kind of stuff. Government's organized crime, kills millions of people. But no, let's focus on hating each other on the ground while we're both dealing with the same ultimate enemy at the end of the day. It's very sad. But again, I don't support, the government forcing Google to hand over data of people's personal searches, but I also don't support Jussie Smollett. It isn't one or the other. They're both, the government's much worse than Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett's like a nobody. But with that said, they're both issues that I don't think you can pick sides with. It would be funny to see him, typing all this stuff about how he's staging this stuff. But people should be very, very much secure with their personal data and be using privacy alternatives because, one of these days, we've been talking about it for years, one of these days that data will be used against you when it's no longer illegal to seize that kind of stuff and show it on the main stage for everyone to see. Privacy is very important, and a lot of countries out there, including China, has lost so much of their privacy in recent years, and we should be defending our privacy. It's up to us. It's not up to anyone else. We are responsible for our own freedoms, and if we don't defend them, they don't exist. Anyway, I appreciate everyone joining us. Make sure to check those links below. This video will definitely be demonetized like so many before, so make sure to check GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribestar. Join us on flote.app, flote.app. They won't demonetize us as hate speech. Talking about stoking the divide here. Anyway, make sure to write below in the comments what you think of this story. We will continue to follow it as we have, and I really appreciate everyone joining us. There's so much to report on these days. The news has been hitting us from all sides with Iran, all that kind of stuff. So make sure to check below as well for our t-shirts. You can get a t-shirt from our Wham merchandise store among sweaters, hoodies, socks, leggings, phone cases, pillows, all sorts of stuff. So make sure to check that link below and purchase stuff and help support independent media and the spread of free information online. It's never been more important than today. So again, make sure to let us know what you think below and support us in any way you can. This whole hate speech thing, we need to put an end to it because I think at this point you can just basically call anything hate speech, and it's very detrimental to all of us and causes a lot of divide among the populace, and again causes people to infight and clash with each other instead of focusing on the real enemies that they face on a day-to-day basis. Also, check out our link to Anarchapulco. Use promo code WHAM and get your tickets, get money off your tickets to Anarchapulco 2020. Also, look into anarchovegas.com, and use the same promo code to buy your tickets to that. Lots of stuff coming up, folks. No shortage of interesting stuff on the horizon. Also, BitChute. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change. Like what you see here at Wham, don't forget to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon. We cannot do it without you guys. Every donation is extremely, extremely appreciated as we're getting incredibly shadow banned. We've lost 80% of our audience since January of 2019 and counting. They are ripping us apart here on YouTube, and the only thing we could do in the meantime as we prepare for the next big step is to ask for help from the viewers that support our free information that we try to post on a daily basis. You can also find us on Subscribestar, where just $1 a month, that's all it takes, $1 a month is all it takes to truly make a huge difference. If everyone gave $1 a month, it would change everything for independent media, and we could win this information war, and we can defeat the mainstream medias eventually. And of course, on Subscribestar, we post subscriber-only content that you'll only see on Subscribestar. So make sure to pledge there, become a patron. That makes a huge difference, guys. And also, don't forget to check out our Bitcoin address below in the comments and description, as well as on the screen for you to scan, if you please. And also, don't forget to subscribe to us on the alternatives. We will likely be deleted by YouTube in the next 2 years. It's already happening on a vast scale, so make sure to find us on flote.app, that's flote.app, at Josh Sigurdson, as well as at Wham, W-A-M. Float.app is replacing every social media, and I mean, it's just incredible the opportunities it provides for not just creators, but for the average person who wants to get away from these nannies telling them what they can or cannot see. They plan to replace Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and Patreon. You could subscribe to us on Float and pledge with cryptocurrency. It's really innovative. We are also on BitChute at World Alternative Media, as well as so many others, Minds, PocketNet. You can find us at World Alternative Media on Instagram. There's many options. And finally, don't forget to join us at Anarchapulco 2020, the famous event, the best Liberty event known to mankind, other than perhaps Anarcho Vegas 2020. There are two major events coming up that we are extremely excited about, and you can use promo code WHAM, that's W-A-M, and save 10% on your tickets to these legendary conferences. There's so many amazing people speaking there. You won't want to miss it. So make sure to support in any way you can, even if it's just sharing our videos, pressing like, pressing to be notified. Anything helps, folks. You are the change you wish to see. Thanks for watching, everyone. And until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.
Thank you.